I will continue to take decisive action to fight corruption and confront insecurity, especially in the border areas.
Strengthen regional and international partnerships towards tackling illicit flows across borders. President Buhari directs security agencies.
So that we will have a free, fair and credible election.
Training, recruitment and deployment of ad hoc personnel in focus as INEC continues review of 2019 general elections. State Response, Recovery and Resilience Committee on Education gets support from European Union.
Licensees are even telling the regulator how much they want to pay.
National Broadcasting Commission clears air on AIT and other broadcast organizations' license fees. Good evening. It's good to have you join us tonight on the Network News. I am Juma Yusuf. Reading with me tonight from Ibadan is Kemi Oshin. Thanks for joining us. Now the news in details. President Muhammadu Buhari says Nigeria will continue to support the International Criminal Court as much as possible to enable it to fulfill its mandate. This was while granting audience to the visiting Nigerian-born president of the court, Judge Chile Ebue Osuji. State House correspondent Ademusambu reports.
The president of the ICC, Nigerian-born Judge Chile Ebue Osuji, was in the State House to formally congratulate President Muhammadu Buhari on his re-election and successful inauguration for a second term of office. The Nigerian leader used the opportunity to make a case for developed countries to take the ICC more seriously in order to strengthen the rule of law and democracy. The ICC, he said, provides a moral strength for victims to receive justice against both internal and external injustice. The president commended the judge for the achievements of the ICC under his presidency. Judge Ebue Osuji lauded President Buhari's strong and unambiguous statement in support of the rule of law, as well as the court and its principles during his visit to its headquarters in The Hague last July. The ICC president appealed to President Muhammadu Buhari to continue to support the court and mobilize African leaders whose countries have not ratified the Rome Statute, which established the court to do the needful. From the State House, Ademusambu, NTA News.
Still with the presidency, the federal government has restated its commitment towards taking more decisive action in the fight against corruption, as well as confronting transnational security threats. President Muhammadu Buhari made this known at the launch of his dedicated transnational security report, where he directed relevant agencies of government to strengthen regional and international partnership towards tackling illicit flows across the borders. Again, Adam Sambu has the details.
President Muhammadu Buhari was joined by his Burkinabe counterpart, Roch Marc Kabore, to unveil the report published as part of the Transnational Security Series by Munich Security Conference. The 90-page publication aims to shine a light on transnational illicit flows and their implications on global, regional, and national security.
I want to get the message across that this is a global phenomenon which should make us all care about it, and of course international cooperation is needed.
President Buhari, who commended the Munich Security Conference for its commitment towards addressing contemporary security challenges, said his report, coming on the eve of the ECOWAS summit, offers new cooperation approaches in tackling illicit flows and other transnational crimes.
Our sub-region is not only a victim of illicit financial flows, but also of human trafficking, arms and drugs trade, with dire consequences on the well-being of our people and on national security. Illicit flows have further fueled terrorism and the proliferation of small arms and light weapons.
He said to effectively combat illicit flows, nation-states must pull resources together and reinforce their capabilities towards addressing the transnational organized crimes, as no government can do it alone.
It is common knowledge that illicit flows confound the problems of corruption, and impede efforts towards sustainable economic growth. This is why I will continue to take decisive action to fight corruption and confront insecurity, especially in the border areas. One of the key facilitators of transnational organized crime, including illicit flows, is the porous nature of our borders. In this context, we will continue to count on the support of our international partners for new technologies to effectively police our borders.
At the level of the G5 Sahel, of which I am the president, the same spirit of cooperation against transnational threats is being implemented. I hope that we will take the opportunity of this meeting to establish fruitful exchanges in order to deepen the solutions proposed to ensure the strengthening of transnational security.
The report, which covered selected types of illicit flows, including people, goods, finance, and data, recommends, amongst others, enhancing the use of technologies to counter illicit activities, building broader coalitions across borders, as well as increasing prosecution rates and expanding the confiscation of resources derived from illicit flows to reduce its attractiveness. In Abuja, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Moves to ensure cordial working relationship between the Nigerian police and the Ninth Senate has commenced. Few days after the Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, visited the Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, the chairman of the Police Service Commission, Ms. Leo Smith, has also met with a former Commissioner of Police, Hezekiah Dimka, who is now a serving senator. They both resolved to work closely for a better legislative intervention by the Ninth Senate, devoid of friction.
As I've said earlier, don't get tired. Take us along. Keep on carrying us along. Give us the advice we think we can, use to project the interests and the peace of this country. As a policeman, retired, it's my responsibility to be sure that, security is maintained. I must be sure that there's safety of lives and property. And whatever comes out in that respect in the Senate, I should be able to have a word or two to be sure that we move to the next level.
Later we'll have details of this as we continue to relate. It's the area of funding of security. You don't get good security without commensurate funding. Just like even at the judiciary, yes, you need good administration of justice, faster, swift. You have to be ready to pay for that.
Plateau State government has renewed its commitment to sustaining the existing peace that will continue to attract global attention and support to the state. The governor stated this in a message to the inauguration of a solar-powered borehole and school sanitation facility at Logwam Kwi of Riam local government area of the state, funded by the EU and UNICEF. Ben Mitu was there.
This is Logomkwi community, which has a population of 5,000 people who before now trekked long distances to access potable water. This narrative has now changed when the European Union, UNICEF and the state government partnered to provide this 24,000-litre solar-powered borehole, which will provide the entire community with potable water.
We need to secure clean water, we need to secure better health opportunities, and of course we need to stop oversimplification. And now we want to walk that talk, and we want to convert words into action.
The state government rolled out more assurances to the people of its open-door policy.
This strategy has further spurred us to create an enabling environment to increase partnership with our development partners.
Look after this water resource, not only for yourselves, but for your children and their children, for the future generations. Look after it, sustain it, and maintain it.
The donor agencies also changed the story of this primary school, which has 516 pupils, by providing toilet facilities and a hand pump borehole to improve sanitation and hygiene, and also ensure an open defecation-free society. In Jos, Ben Mitu, NTA News.
In another development, the European Union has earmarked 20 million euros to support recovery and strengthening of education in Borno State. The EU representative Cornelius disclosed this during the launch of the EU Support to Response, Recovery and Resilience Committee on Education in Borno State. Mohammed Goni reports.
Mr. Cornelius said the funding will support a flexible and responsive education program that can effectively respond to the acute emergency education needs of children, while laying foundation to build back better so that as stability improves, communities are better able to demand quality education services.
The EU support to the education sector in Borno State is a response to the state government's request in 2018 to assist its early recovery rebuilding program.
The EU representative added that over 1,500 children and 2,500 teachers will directly benefit from the 2 new European Union-funded projects aimed at providing immediate education service and strengthening the education system in Borno. Country Director Plan International said over 180,000 children and 944 teachers will benefit from Plan International Nigeria's new education project in the state. Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Umar Zulum appreciated the series of interventions that had been carried out by the European Union and reiterated his administration's commitment for educational development in the state. The project also includes provision of teaching kits to the 123 schools in Maiduguri. Jadwa John Jason, NTA News.
The federal government has reiterated its determination to end open defecation in Nigeria by the year 2025. Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Environment renewed this hope at the 2019 National Environmental Sanitation Day in Abuja. She expressed confidence that the new collaboration among the 3 tiers of government comes with a ray of hope.
One, initiation and implementation of a program tagged Clean and Green, aiming to end open defecation in Nigeria by 2025 is too far away. Provision of toilets and other sanitary facilities to communities under its community-based waste management program. Commenced sanitary inspection of all federal government establishments and public places, that is markets, hotels, abattoirs, motor parks, etc. Develop criteria for the assessment and selection of the cleanest state in Nigeria for annual award during subsequent sanitation day like this. Finalizing the process for the establishment of sanitation desk in the 36 states of the Federation and FCT for environmental health and sanitation surveillance system.
Education, health and infrastructure are the most affected by the activities of insurgents in northeastern Nigeria. Now that activities of insurgents have been reduced owing to military intervention, the need to fast-track developmental projects through human capital projects is a priority of Gombe State government, as stated at a meeting with the country director of Bill Melinda Gates Foundation in Abuja. Adebola Brooklyn Sunday reports that the meeting was a fallout of the Nigeria Governors Forum determination to take advantage of funds provided by development partners in making life better for Nigerians.
Gombe State is one of the northeast states sharing borders with other states in the zone. Due to the activities of insurgents in the zone, most people moved into the states, which obviously overstretched its facilities. Swinging into action after the advice by the Nigeria Governors Forum chairman, the governor is holding this meeting with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to strengthen the partnership between them. For the country director of the foundation, a better utilization of the funds the state is getting is paramount.
Realized that they needed to put in place a more coordinated mechanism to reach the poorest of the poor with the health and nutrition, including polio, and then agriculture, and then financial service for the poor, and we're adding now gender equality.
So our engagement with the people will be much more on now finding ways and means by which we take them into the fields in agriculture, in skills development, and equally in trade and vocational engagement, so that people, once they have something to do which can generate no matter how little for themselves.
The state also symbolically received keys and documents of a science laboratory built and donated to Katungo local government area. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
Broadcasting organizations in Nigeria are owing the federal government about 4 billion naira. Amount represents license fees which some of the organizations fail to pay. Director General of National Broadcasting Commission, Ishaq Modibo Kawu, made this known to newsmen in Abuja. Again, Adebola Brooklyn Sunday has the details.
For any broadcast outfit to transmit radio or television programs, it is mandatory for it to pay a stipulated license fee, renewable after a set period. A contract, the Director General said some broadcasters have breached.
The new pattern that has developed is that licensees are even telling the regulator how much they want to pay.
On the suspension of the operating license of Dark Communications Limited, Ishaq Modibo Kawu said the two parties have agreed on a term leading to the withdrawal of the suspension with the consent of the courts following the intervention of the Nigeria Press Organization and a court order on the following terms.
The Dark Communications PLC shall take the necessary internal steps to ensure balance in its news coverage, especially political commentary, shall ensure that all programs transmitted on its TV and radio stations across the country comply with the provisions of the Constitution.
The Director General said the 6th edition of the Broadcasting Code to be launched will help checkmate the excesses of broadcast organizations.
We firmly ensure, as the code further stated, that no broadcast shall encourage or incite to crime, lead to public disorder, be repugnant to public feeling, or generally be disrespectful to human dignity.
On the issue of digital switchover, Ishaq Modibo Kawu said government remains committed to the cause as all is now set for the process in Kano, Gombe, Rivers and Lagos states. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
Cotton farmers benefit 100 billion naira from funds set aside by the federal government to revive cotton farming in the country. Details of this after the break. Stay with us.
Enjoy the best of African football as NTA, Africa's largest television network and hotspots, Nigeria's foremost sports production and marketing company, bring you all 52 matches of the Africa Cup of Nations, Egypt 2019 live from June 21 to July 19, 2019. Yes, all 52 games will hit your screens in crystal clear digital quality. It's your guarantee of a memorable viewing experience and a wonderful cost-effective opportunity for corporate Nigeria to reach tens of millions of Nigerians. For sponsorship and commercial support, contact Abubakar on 0803-331-0175 and Felix on 0803-308-2375. Hot Sports, masters of the game. NTA, you can't beat the reach.
Everybody's talking. In all the cities and all the streets, in all the places where people meet, from Niger to London, that you talking. You are the one that's falling to keep you talking. Yeah. Talking. We got people talking. We got people talking. We've got people talking. Dressing from east to the west to the south. Everywhere they come by, they know the mouth.
5 times bonus to call all networks on every recharge. We get you talking.
Keep talking.
Glow Unlimited.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukuru Yusufu Buratai, announces the commencement of activities to mark this year's Nigerian Army Day celebration and Combat Support Arms Training Week 2019, to be held in Lagos from the 27th of June to the 6th of July 2019. With the theme, Professionally Responsive Soldiering, a panacea for successful military operations. There will be an environmental sanitation exercise and medical outreaches within Lagos and formations of the Nigerian Army across the nation. Lecture on Nigerian Army Day celebration, among others, will be delivered in Lagos. Interdenominational church service at all formations on the 30th of June 2019, while the Jumat service at all Nigerian Army formations mosques on the 5th of July 2019. Subsequently, the grand finale will feature Chief of Army Staff Commendation Award on the 6th of July 2019. Nigerian Army, pride of the nation. Colonel Segiru Musa, Acting Director, Army Public Relations, announcer.
Our country is filled with people with different skills, talents, and passion to succeed. And like the game football, we all have a position to play. Some save the day. They put themselves on the line for the others. They are the goalkeepers. Some are in charge of protection. They keep the line safe from attackers. They are the defenders. The midfielders are the ones who bring us together. They also show support and point other players in the right direction. And the strikers, they are the goal-getters. They break barriers and steal the show. As a team, we are unstoppable. For this country to succeed, we must play as Nigeria united.
Abuja, the biggest and most exciting food festival in Nigeria, is back. It's the second edition of Nigerian Flavors 2019. On Saturday, the 29th of June, at the Central Park Abuja from 12 noon, with a rich and diverse array of mouth-watering Nigerian cuisine and beverages. Other side attractions include comedy shows, children's play area, games, dance competitions, and much more. We also have musical performances by Ricardo Banks,
Girl, I have a question to ask you today.
LAX, Race,
What's your name?
Rema, DJ Factors on the wheels, and your host is Jimmy the Entertainer. Early bird tickets are available online at www.allevents.ng for 1,000 Naira and 2,000 Naira at the venue. So don't miss the second edition of Nigerian Flavors. And it's brought to you by Tour Nigeria, Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation.
Do maybe.
One football confederation, 24 teams, 6 stadiums, 4 cities, 504 African stars, 1 trophy. The Africa Cup of Nations Egypt 2019 comes alive from June 21 with the showpiece final on July 19, 2019. Watch the 52 matches of the tournament live on Africa's biggest and largest television network, NTA, in partnership with Hot Sports. Be part of the biggest soccer fiesta in the African continent as the Super Eagles go on a bold mission to clinch the prestigious title for the 4th time, to the excitement of millions of fans across the length and breadth of Nigeria. Nigeria's premier sports production and marketing group, Hot Sports, partners with the biggest, the largest, and the #1 television network in Africa, the NTA, to give Nigerians a memorable viewing experience. Boost fan support for the Super Eagles to glory in Egypt. For inquiries, please contact Abubakar on 0803-331-0175 and Felix on 0803-308-2375. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Thanks for staying. Contrary to claims reported in sections of the media, The establishment of Ruga settlement is not being supervised by the Office of the Vice President. A statement by Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Office of the Vice President, Laulu Akande, says the Ruga initiative is different from the National Livestock Transformation Plan approved on January 17, 2019 by state governors under the auspices of the National Economic Council, NEC, chaired by the Vice President, Yemi Osibajo. Katsina, Kanu, Kogi, Kwara, Ondo and Edo states, Akande said, have indicated readiness to also implement the plan. The plan is said to have 6 pillars through which it aims to transform the livestock production system in Nigeria along market-oriented value chain while ensuring an atmosphere of peace and justice. The federal government, Akande said, will not impose on any state government regarding its land. Now to agriculture, about 19,000 farmers in Kano State have so far benefited from 100 billion naira cotton revolving fund set aside by the federal government for reviving cotton farming in the country. Already, cotton production activities have commenced in earnest. Yahana Hassan Baro reports.
Kano State is among the 23 states to benefit from the 100 billion naira cotton production revolving fund as part of effort to revive cotton farming in the country. Out of the 100,000 farmers, the program targeted 40,000 farmers in Kano State. So far, 19,000 cotton farmers have benefited from the revolving fund. A visit to Gorzo local government area showed that those beneficiaries are receiving inputs while a sizable percentage of lands in the area are under cotton cultivation. 68-year-old Yahaya Abubakar is among the lucky 19,000 beneficiaries for cotton farming in the country.
Before now, we used to sell our produce at a loss.
The idea behind the program is to provide raw materials for ailing industries in Kano.
A revival of cotton production will develop and create job for us with the textile manufacturers. It is just a circle from the farm to industry.
The federal government has put a stringent measure for the sustenance of the revolving fund in which benefiting farmers can pay their loan without default.
So the bank liaised with the association in selecting the farmers to benefit.
The commitment of the Buhari administration to accord priority to cotton production in the country is another way of reinvigorating the economy through revival of textile industries that will create more jobs and halt importation of textile materials in Kano. Yahana Sahasambaro, NTA News.
The present administration's drive to remove 100 million people out of poverty in the next 10 years has begun, with the National Directorate of Employment, NDE, dispersing microloans to 560 widows of police in collaboration with the Nigerian police force. Abdullahi Musa Suleja reports that 5,000 police widows are targeted nationwide.
When the head of a family or breadwinner is dead, life tends to become unbearable to family members left behind. The police is one agency that loses its personnel due to the nature of their job. Consequently, the force is left with many widows and orphans. Now, the National Director of Employment is coming to the rescue of such widows of police who lost their lives in line of duty. These women are the first to benefit from the support by NDE in collaboration with the police. Representative of the IG, Deputy Inspector General of Police Usman Abubakar Tilli, and the Power President Hajja Fatima Muhammad Adamu handed 10,000 naira each to 63 of them from the FCT, an event that simultaneously took place across the state of the Federation, where a total of 5,600 police widows were selected.
In addition to that, even in our training programs, whatever we're doing in the state, we gave at least 50 slots to Nigerian police force so that they can bring in either wives of the fallen heroes or some of their retirees or even serving with their families so that we can train them on various trades and resettle them.
The benefiting widows are expected to pay the 10,000 naira revival loan in 4 months. Abdullahi Musa Suleja, NTA News.
Unbundling the mirage of challenges facing the Independent National Electoral Commission from the services of its ad hoc election personnel was the thrust of a policy dialogue towards improvement in future elections. Timothy Yusuf reports that the dialogue was organized by the Electoral Institute, a training and research arm of INEC.
Gathered here in the auditorium of the Institute are a broad spectrum of electoral stakeholders, comprising civil society organizations, academia and experts. They are interrogating the dynamics of reforms in the recruitment, training and deployment of ad hoc election staff. The Executive Director of Partners for Electoral Reforms, Ezenwanwago, believes that so many mistakes have been made in the past.
We have seen also hijack of returning officers by politicians and inducing them to want to do their roles. So we need to find a way to protect the recruitment process of INEC from the interference of politicians.
INEC National Commissioner Mohammed Haruna, representing the Commission's chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, agrees no less as mistakes of the 2019 general elections will be redressed in the forthcoming Kogi and Bayelsa states governorship elections and ultimately the 2023 general elections.
So it's important that we discuss this issue and be able to source so that we'll be able to identify how to source the ad hoc staff, train so that we'll have a free, fair, and credible election.
What did we not do right in 2019, and how can we really improve? So precisely, the Commission has been making a lot of effort to really see that all the challenges that happened in 2019 has been addressed, and this is part of the efforts done.
INEC recruited, trained, and deployed 900,000 ad hoc staff who served as either polling, collation or returning officers during the 2019 general elections. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NT News.
Oil and gas consultant Kenebi Diton Okoko has indicated his interest to join the race for the next governor of Bayelsa State. He was consequently at the National Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party in Abuja to pick his nomination and expression of intent forms. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The National Secretariat of the People's Democratic Party has again come alive with posters and supporters of aspirants ahead of the November governorship election in Kogi and Bayelsa states. Kenebi Diton Okoko is the reason for this particular gathering of supporters. He is the first to visit the PDP National Secretariat to indicate his interest to vie for the governorship seat of Bayelsa come November this year. The National Organizing Secretary of the party, Austin Akobundu, assured the aspirant of a free, transparent and credible primary election.
I want to, on behalf of all of us at the Secretariat, congratulate the aspirant for stepping forward to throw his hat in the ring and offer himself for service.
The governorship aspirant, Kenebi Diton Okoko, premised his aspiration with core focus on human capacity development, building and industrialization, promising to consolidate on the achievements of Governor Seriake Dixon.
It's one of the major things I want to build on is education, because education is the bedrock of every society. An educated mind is a liberated mind. The youths need to be more educated. They need to have more job opportunities.
We are sure that if this man is voted on that day in our state special congress, definitely this man can win the forthcoming governorship election in Bayelsa State and at sure bring victory to PDP in Bayelsa State.
Kenebi Okoko implored the people of Bayelsa State to sustain the prevailing peace and harmonious coexistence being witnessed in the state as he prepares in his aspiration to make Bayelsa better. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NT News.
The 2019 general elections may have come and gone, but bickering and blame game amongst parties and politicians are still on. One of such is the allegations of mismanagement of the last general elections funds against the chairman of the Abuja, Victor Oye, leading to calls by some party stakeholders for his resignation. Omeka Amarachuku reports that the Abuja chairman in a press conference dispelled all the allegations, describing them as baseless.
Today we have a brand new constitution in operation, and the INEC has been given the required number of copies. So when people talk about factions in the party, we do not have any factions. We have only one party under my chairmanship and under the leadership of His Excellency Governor Willie Obiano.
The Abuja chairman also appealed for calm among supporters and also urged other Nigerians to support the developmental initiative by the government, irrespective of party affiliation, for the benefit of all. We'll be taking a break now. Lagos is our first port of call. After the break, don't go away.
The buzz of alarms hails you, captain of the home, lady of the grind. Through the days of close deals and office politics, the carefree laughter of your little ones drives you. Even with school fees wahala, still you continue to push and believe. And these children where you see so go grow and prosper. Because at Union Bank, there's a loan for everyone. Apply today. Union Bank, your simpler, smarter bank.
What we are really cultivating here is a better future for all Nigerian women, and it's not always easy. Panadol Extra relieves headache, backache, joint pain, toothache, and menstrual pain. The pain is worth it.
Refresh your confidence with the liquid filling of a Center Fresh gum. Center Fresh. Trust the freshness.
Sensitivity is a short, sharp pain that people experience when they have something hot or cold getting to the nerve of the tooth. If the sensitivity is left alone, it may get worse. Dentists recommend Sensodyne. It's able to calm the nerve of the tooth. The proof's in the results. It works.
Our country is filled with people with different skills, talents, and passion to succeed. And like the game football, we all have a position to play. Some save the day. They put themselves on the line for the others. They are the goalkeepers. Some are in charge of protection. They keep the line safe from attackers. They are the defenders. The midfielders are the ones who bring us together. They also show support and point other players in the right direction. And the strikers? They are the goal-getters. They break barriers and steal the show. As a team, we are unstoppable. For this country to succeed, we must play as Nigeria united.
I thought leaving the country was the best decision for me and my future.
I left for a better life.
We were picked up by immigration officials and sent to a detention camp.
I spent 8 months in the detention camp.
There was no food, no water.
I saw people being beaten like animals.
Some women were raped. Some women were sold as slaves.
I thought I would never see my loved ones again.
I have made the biggest mistake of my life.
I have wasted all my savings.
I have to start all over again.
Migration is a human phenomenon which cannot be stopped. But if we choose to migrate, we advocate that it should be done in a safe, orderly, regular, and dignified way, and not in a dangerous and tortuous manner.
This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons.
To Lagos. Now, the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has held that Justice Rita Ofili Ajumogobia is no longer a serving judicial officer and therefore can face criminal charge of money laundering brought against her by the EFCC. Justice Mohammed Akikawa gave the ruling while dismissing the preliminary objection held by the former High Court judge challenging her trial. Vera Chimoba also reports that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission said it is still investigating the former governor of Ekiti State over other activities.
The EFCC had charged Rita Ophelia Jumogobia and a senior advocate of Nigeria, Godwin Obla, on 18 counts bordering on conspiracy, unlawful enrichment, and money laundering. They had pleaded not guilty and were admitted to bail in the sum of 10 million naira with two sureties in like sum. The defendants were first tried before a Lagos High Court at Ikeja, but the matter was struck out for lack of jurisdiction. Defense counsel Robert Clark had argued that Ajimogobia is still a serving judge of the Federal High Court and has not been dismissed. He argued that the prosecution had not tendered anything to show that there was a gazette in which the dismissal was communicated, dismissing the preliminary objection filed by Ajimogobia for lack of merit challenging her trial, as well as the jurisdiction of the court to try her. Justice Mohammed Aikau read out the memo dated 7th November 2018, signed by President Muhammad Buhari, approving the dismissal of the former judge from the bench as recommended by the National Judicial Council. In a similar development, the planned rearrangement of the former governor of Ekiti State, Ayo Fayose, was forestalled. The commission told the court that Ayo Fayose is still under investigation and asked for adjournment. The objection raised by the defense was overruled by Justice Chukweje Kuaneke, who has fixed 2nd of July for rearrangement. In Lagos, Viera Chumuba, NTA News.
Now, follow reactions from stakeholders on the recent increase of tariff on regulated products and services by the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC. The agency has reverted to status quo. Chairman NAFDAC's Governing Council, Inuwa Abdul Kadri, disclosed this in Lagos. Joy Ken Abakoya reports.
This year, we were shocked to realize that NAFDAC had increased the cost of some of their regulatory services and even introduced new fees without consulting the stakeholders. That is
a few weeks ago, this video by the President Association of Small Business Owners of Nigeria went viral. He expressed fears that the hike in NAFDAC's tariff, if not checked, will do more harm than good. Well, NAFDAC has now rescinded its decision. Stakeholders affected are to revert to the old tariff until further notice. The decision, Chairman NAFDAC Governing Council, Inuwa Abdulkadir, says was reached after a meeting between stakeholders and the council.
In line with the government current policy on ease of doing business and also not compromising the position or the mandate of the agency, and the council have agreed to make a review and have agreed on the review of those tariffs and the details of which will be made public soon.
NAFDAC, he says, will continue to dialogue with all concerned stakeholders on the tariff review and other regulatory issues. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakoya, NTA News.
This is still NTA Network News. More reports with Jumai in Abuja. Stay tuned.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. Back in Abuja, Nigeria is introducing a new yellow card to replace the current yellow card. 1st of July 2019. Permanent Secretary and Minister of Health Abdul Aziz Mashi Abdullahi, who announced this in Abuja, explained that the new card has enhanced security features that could be verified anywhere in the world. The introduction of the new e-yellow card, otherwise known as International Certificate of Vaccination, is to help address the issue of fake ones. All international travelers from 9 months of age and above must be vaccinated against yellow fever. Now to security. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukuri Burete, has had a durbar with troops of Operation Lafia Dole in Maiduguri, Borno State, as part of the periodic interaction with troops and commanders to boost morale towards the success of the ongoing counter-insurgency operations in the northeast. Defense correspondent Ismaila Musa reports.
This military Doba, the third in 2 years in Borno State, provides an avenue for troops to meet, interact and seek clarification from the top military hierarchy on issues relating to their welfare, logistics and operations.
You are here to bear your minds open, tell us where you are feeling the pains and how best you can be administered, how best we can go ahead with our operations.
A news conference to herald the 2019 Army Day and Combat Week celebration was held, where Lieutenant General Tuku Buratai stressed the need for enhanced firepower skill and application as critical to addressing emerging threats.
The Nigerian Army Day celebration is an annual event which usually culminates on the 6th of July every year. It is an occasion used as a platform for the Nigerian Army to reflect on its performance and celebrate its achievements.
Similarly, the Army Chief was at the Super Camp Dambua in southern Borno to assess troops' welfare and alertness.
We have intimated the traditional rulers to strategize and to ensure that a lot of information dissemination, advocacy is being carried out to ensure that this issue of disarmament, the reintegration takes place with immediate effect.
The Army is injecting more troops and equipment to facilitate the current clearance process. From Dambua in southern Borno, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
For more stories on NTA Network News tonight, let's now join Kemi in Ibadan. Hello.
And welcome to Ibadan. The government of Oyo State is to continue partnership with the World Bank in the area of sustainable development, projects and youth employment opportunities. Governor Seyi Makinde gave the assurance at a 3-day orientation program for beneficiaries of the last phase of a youth employment and social support operation in the state. Oyeyinka Omole reports.
Governor Seyi Makinde, who was represented, says his administration is committed to providing enabling environment for any intervention from all international donors.
The program has been very impactful. In fact, it has been God sent to what is the poor and the poorest in our society.
About 5,000 indigent youths drawn from 14 local government areas in Oyo State participated in the orientation program across free centers in the state.
We use, objective documents to determine and rank communities in accordance with their poverty status.
The participants will be paid 7,500 naira after working for 4 hours per day for 20 days satisfactorily per month.
Beneficiaries explained that the program will enhance their social inclusion.
We want us to have joy, money, so we can feed our family.
These beneficiaries are the last batch of the World Bank assisted youth employment and social support operation, YESO, expected to wind down by the year 2020 in Ibadan. Oyeyinka Omole, NTA News.
Exchange rate is regarded as the value of a country's currency in relation to another country. Discussants at the monthly seminar of the Nigerian Institute of Social and Economic Research, NISA, in Ibadan said it is one of the principal variables shaping manufacturing growth in Nigeria. Correspondent Shola Wahid has details.
Exchange rate adjustments and manufacturing performance in Nigeria form the basis for discussion at the seminar. Exchange rate level and fluctuations have negative impacts on the manufacturing sector for some time now, and concerted efforts should be ensured to reduce dependence of the sector on foreign exchange.
Because of the import-dependence nature of our economy, fortunately, the central bank has been putting in place all kinds of structured policies to manage demand for foreign exchange and also to inject some money into the foreign exchange market.
But when we talk of micro, it's talking about what happens to the farmer, what happens to the people in the market, what happens to prices, which will affect the life of of people.
Always bringing out topical issues, that affect the contemporary welfare of Nigerians.
No economy develops without actually activating that secondary sector, and that is why NISA is interested in looking at the relationship between the exchange rate adjustment.
Participants urge government to formulate and execute policies that will favor the manufacturing industries to improve the economy. In Ibadan, Shola Wahid, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. More reports of Jummai in Abuja. Good evening.
Thank you, Kemi. Back here in Abuja, host communities of OML 25, known as the Bayelsa Flow Station in River State, are still appealing for appropriate intervention of Governor Nyesom Wike in the protracted dispute with Shell Petroleum Development Company. This was at a press conference in Port Harcourt, River State. A 7-day ultimatum given by Governor Nyesom Wike to reopen the oil facility shut down in 2017 on the unresolved issue is said to be generating concern between the two parties. The traditional rulers of Belema, Ofern, Ama and Ngeje in Akuku, Toro local government of River State are agitated and calling for quick resolution of the dispute in a manner that will satisfy both parties.
Local are complaining of losing revenue in the last 2 years of the occupation of the Belema Flow Station. It is quite embarrassing and unfortunate.
We are shocked when we get to the venue. After still 2 hours, they said the venue has been caged. So to us, we have honored the invitation of the expedition as community.
The platform is being occupied by women, and the women must remain there until all issues are resolved.
Meanwhile, a delegation of women leaders of the communities who led the shutdown of the oil facility made a procession at the venue, carrying placards with inscriptions insisting they will remain at the oil facility despite the ultimatum by the governor for the resolution of the matter and reopening of the oil platform. Still to come tonight is sports and other reports right after this break. Stay with us.
There were many of the Southwest leadership who were there, welcoming Abacha.
Ambassador Babagana Kingibe finally opens up on June 12. The annulment, the intrigues, the maneuvers.
By then, the leadership of the SDP, they all were very enthusiastic to uphold the annulment.
June 12, the untold story. Coming soon on NTA Network.
One Football Confederation, 24 teams, 6 stadiums, 4 cities, 504 African stars, 1 trophy. The Africa Cup of Nations Egypt 2019 comes alive from June 21 with the showpiece final on July 19, 2019. Watch the 52 matches of the tournament live on Africa's biggest and largest television network, NTA, in partnership with Hotsports. Be part of the biggest soccer fiesta in the African continent as the Super Eagles go on a bold mission to clinch the prestigious title for the 4th time, to the excitement of millions of fans across the length and breadth of Nigeria. For inquiries, please contact Abubakar on 0803-331-0175 and Felix on 0803-308-2375. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Welcome back. AFCON continues to take shape with more teams qualifying for the round of 16. Here's an update on today's matches.
Mali could not cement their spot in the round of 16 as they had to settle for a 1-1 draw with Tunisia in their second group game of the Africa Cup of Nations in Egypt. Mali, who needed all 3 points to progress to the knockout stage, struggled to convert their chances in front of goal. Tunisia got out of the blocks and rattled the Malian defence in the opening stages of the game. Dabi Kazri had a goal-bound effort that hit the woodwork in the 4th minute, and 2 minutes later, through a nicely placed shot, capitalised on Jigui Diarra's error when he drifted off his goal line, but Diarra was quick to recover and parried the ball away for a corner. Mali then gained composure and began creating chances, which were mostly met with a stiff defence of the Tunisian side. The pressure paid through a curling corner kick from Diadie Samasekou that saw the Tunisian keeper spill the ball into his own net. For a moment, the match looked very much in favour of the Malians.
To find a way to come in and see!
Through a deflected free kick
That is absolutely
the next round. In Group D, Morocco booked a place in the knockout stages with a lone goal defeat over the Elephants of Côte d'Ivoire. The Elephants came out blazing in the opening minute when Jonathan Kodjia's goal-bound header was cleared off the line. Morocco, who had initially struggled, found rhythm and hit the Ivorians after Amrabat dazzled his way past the Ivorian backline to lay a fine pass through Youssef El Nasir, who buried the ball behind the net. Morocco, who looked the much better side, created several other chances that were either blocked or parried away. The Elephants came close to grabbing an equaliser when Pepe's free kick met Ismail Traoré, and his overhead kick was stopped by Yasni Bonu. The Moroccans were not done yet, as they aimed for goal in the 91st minute, but were stopped by the crossbar. Meanwhile, South Africa secured their first win of the tournament with a slim 1-0 win over Namibia. This win puts them in 3rd position and will be hoping to get 3 points when they file out against Côte d'Ivoire in their last group game.
More sports update with Ayodeji Makinde.
Weightlifters have completed a show of strength and stamina at the Gymnasium Package B section of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium while trying to meet up with the minimum requirements for selection ahead of the 2019 All-Africa Games in Morocco.
We are going to invite about 6 or 7 coaches to camp for the preparation of the athletes, of the 40 selected athletes that will be in camp.
40 weightlifters have since been selected after the first phase of the national trials, from where 20, comprising 10 male and 10 female athletes, will be selected to represent Nigeria at the Continental Showpiece from August 19 to 31. Efforts at developing swimming at the grassroots in the country reached new heights Thursday in Abuja as Nigeria Aquatics Federation and Real Worth Consults unveiled the logo for the Maiden Schools National Swimming Competition at the media center of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium.
When you give a child a passion like swimming, you don't have to wake that child up early in the morning because he knows I must get up early. I want to be a champion. I must get up early, prepare and go for my training.
The competition, which targets the discovery and training of swimming talents for future championships, is slated for August in Abuja before it tours primary and secondary schools in states of the Federation. With sports updates, Ayodeji Makinde, NTA News.
It was a sunny day in Abuja. Weather prospect for Saturday? Let's see what it looks like. It's a wrap on NTA Network News tonight. Thanks for watching. Good night.
NTA. You can't beat the rich.